Call to order the Trotwood-Madison City School District regular meeting, September 1st, 2022, to order. Ms. Allen, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, the meeting has now been called to order. Will you please join us in a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I now need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll move.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second. Are there any changes?
Yes, I have one on 4B. I would like to remove that totally.
4B? Okay. 4B removed, right? And what I would like to do or
I would like to say under 5, the superintendent's report, we're going to take the personnel agenda off. It will be voted on tonight after executive session.
So, Dr. Cosby, would you like just to move item 5B to the bottom of the agenda?
That would be fine.
Okay, so we're gonna move item 5B to, we'll make it item 11.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Item 11 is 5B, personnel agenda, and action will be taken. Anything else? Okay. Being none, Ms. Allen, what we're doing is the changes in the agenda. We're removing item 4 under treasurer's item, 4B, under treasurer's items. And we are taking item 5B under superintendents and making it item 11 after executive session, and it is for action. Will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, the agenda has been adopted. Next up are the summer school report by the curriculum director. That's Mr. Warner.
Thank you. And that report is under the executive tab on the board docs, if you want to see it on your computer.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Well, good evening, Board. Thanks for the opportunity to present what the summer programming for this summer was in Trotwood. Just wanted to align this with the Board's strategic vision that Goal 2 says that we will provide the academic and non-academic supports to ensure opportunity and access to each and every student, and Priority 2 of Goal 2 says that we will give equitable access and full range of services, supports, and course offerings. And this quote is right from there, that the Trotwood-Madison City School District will create a plan to ensure that all students have access to the full range of academic and non-academic services and supports offered by the district, and this includes opportunities for remediation, acceleration, and enrichment programs before, during, and after school. So just wanted to make sure that you do what we align ourselves with the board's strategic vision. So grades K through 8, if you remember, we approved Catapult Learning to provide those services. And then we provided educational support in each of the classrooms, not only in the form of a teacher, but also a paraprofessional so students would get the help that they needed. That support and that programming was the literacy intervention, math intervention, and also SEL intervention as well, along with some STEM. And we were really happy with how that went. The students were engaged, actively engaged in their learning, and the teachers were engaged with them as well. And then well, here's what the numbers look like. We had 159 students enrolled in total. 105 of those students finished the program, so some students would opt out. They had to leave for vacation or something like that. We took 3 field trips. One of the field trips were to Caroline Park, and so students had a great time there. I was able to go to that one and see them interacting. They really had a great time. You can see from the photographs that they were engaged there. This was a late add-on. We went to National Museum of the United States Air Force. We had originally intended to go to the zoo that day, but that was one of the days it was like 100+ degrees, and we decided it was better to go there rather than have students passing out somewhere. So we went to the Air Force Museum, and they had a great time at the Air Force Museum. And the 3rd field trip, we were able to go to COSI for them to engage in some of the STEM activities that they did. So that was K through 8. Grades 9 through 12, we ran a very similar program with the Apex software facilitated by Trotwood teachers. And by the numbers here, we had 120 of these students enrolled, 104 of those students earning at least a half a credit, and 82 students earning all their deficient credits there. And so in total, for those weeks that they were there, that was 198.5 credits earned total by those students. We also ran some July summer camps, and so this entailed drone weekend camp, and we had a drone week-long camp. Those were 2 separate camps. It was fairly the same. It was the same curriculum there, but one was was full days on the weekend, and the other one was spread out over the week. We ran Camp Invention, and we also ran Lego camps. And the numbers there, the students who registered, we had 15 register for the weekend, 16 for the week-long, 35 for Camp Invention, and 17 for the Lego camp. And so the drone camps, every student used these drones here, and I'll just kind of pass them down so you just kind of see what they were able to get. This was the drone here, and this is the controller that they used. And the students that attended were able to receive one of those drones themselves. So they flew those drones. I have a little video I'll show you in a second. It's only about 60 seconds long. But they went through different modules. So the modules were Introduction to Drones, Piloting Mastery. They did actually some drone racing, which is what I'll show you what the video is on the drone racing. They did photography and videography, so the drones would move around. Those drones actually have a camera in them. And so they were able to take pictures of something. And then they did coding with the drones, meaning they used the computer and they coded them so they could move through an obstacle course. So here's the video of that. I think it's going to play when I hit that. There you go.
Okay, I win.
So you can see the hula hoops there, and there's a drone coming through the hula hoop, and it's one of our students sitting there. The tall guy is the one he's just videoing, but this is one of our students controlling the drone.
Holy. Whoa, man.
It's not shown here, but there were some fantastic crashes in some of the.
Why would you try to do that? Aha, yeah, remember, this is for all the marbles. You got the.
So we had lots of video of that, and those are some of the things that they did. They actually did do some racing where you had 2 drones going at the same time, and they were kind of racing through there. So they had a great time with that. Students earned the certificate, and they also got some drones. They each also got one of these T-shirts as well, and it just says Drone Pilot on the back side of it, and then the camp on the other side. So every student got one of those too. We also did summer Camp Invention, and so Camp Invention is a nationally recognized summer intervention enrichment program, and they've been doing this for about 30 years. Each module has hands-on STEM learning activities and designed for them to build things to ignite their imaginations, and create problem solving, solutions to some problem solving. The pictures you see here is from the robotics aquatics, where the students would design tanks for their own robotic fish, and then discover symbiotic relationships that they would have, and then they would develop and pitch their bio-inventions to each other. So here's some pictures. We have lots of pictures there. I just included 3 here of the kids getting involved in building things, inventing things together. And then lastly, we had a summer Lego camp. And this was also a week-long camp, and the whole goal of this Lego camp is to spark the interest in STEAM, and we often say STEM. STEAM would be science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And so all this is designed on honing in on their creativity, and a key part of this education is coding and robotics. And so students were involved in not only building something with their Legos, but also coding them, and I'll have a few videos of this as well. So watch this one.
And we still have the error. We still have an error.
It happened.
10,000. And
I don't know if you heard her, that she said, we still have an error. And then you heard the teacher go, well, that happens. And I love that piece of that video because it allows the kids to make mistakes and learn from them. And I think the goal there was to code it to go right around that blue square. She was just a little bit off, so she had to go back and reprogram that there. Here's another video.
I'm ready.
So these are all activities that the students would have to have built this themselves and then coded them using the computer programs that went along with Lego education. I have 2 more really short ones. And you can see he was going there to make adjustments to whatever he was seeing there to add on to the weight or the movement of that contraption. And I love this student's face.
Brayden, we're trying to break something. Why you gotta keep doing that? I don't know.
I think it was one of the most rewarding parts of these camps is to see the students' faces as they create something, code it, and then see it actually successfully do what it's supposed to do is really one of some of the best parts. So just some final thoughts that I had as we wrap up this presentation. I think that we need to continue to generate interest in the drones, leading to development of courses and pathways to college and career opportunities. That drone program, it was small this summer, but I think it had opportunities for a middle school class, a high school class, and Sinclair actually has a 2-year degree with unmanned aerial systems that you can go in and we can create a pathway there, getting our students ready. And you could come out making anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 if you're good with a 2-year degree. And so I think there's some real promise here. We have students that are interested, we have staff that are interested in it to create after-school programming and all kinds of things like that. So I think there's some real key things that we can do here that will really help kids' futures and opportunities. Also, expanding opportunities for Lego education and camp invention, just to see those students' faces and what they did there, developing their skills around STEAM and also the collaboration piece. And thinking as an inventor, thinking as an entrepreneur and inventor, I think there's opportunities there that we can capitalize on. And then my third thought was just the gratefulness that I have to all the stakeholders, from the board approving it to people in the curriculum department getting quotes and getting the things here, to custodians coming in on weekends, opening the buildings, to teachers, staying late to design the lessons, parents getting that out there, transportation, scrambling around to get bus routes together. I'm just grateful for everybody's work to do that, provide so many opportunities for Trotwood students this summer. I think I counted up to about 37 days that we offered things for students this summer for different opportunities. So just grateful for everybody's work and support with that. That's all I have.
We'd
questions
like
that
to
you had.
thank you, Mr. Warner, for putting this together, not just the presentation, but the summer. I do think it was engaging for our students. I think that, as he said, it opened their eyes to some opportunities, things that maybe they hadn't experienced before, and I think it also had an academic component to it as well. So I think that was a great job. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
First, I think you already addressed it. That looks really neat. It looked like the kids had a lot of fun, and it looked like a lot of learning was going on. And I look forward to the possibility at some point where maybe we can offer something like that after school or even as part of our curriculum. I really like the one young lady where they had the robot and it didn't turn the corner like she wanted, and I was impressed with her vocabulary.
Yes.
You know, she said, we have an error.
Yes,
And I was
yes.
like, "Here, okay.
Yeah.
So that was real cool. The field trips were really, I thought those were really powerful because they're local. And so it gives the kids an introduction in the sense of what's going on and what has gone on in this immediate community as well. So it looks like summer was pretty good. I'd like to see more people participate.
Yes, sir.
And I think word of mouth will probably get some more.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
agree. Thank you.
I do like the follow-on that you mentioned. There's an opportunity for these students and the parents clearly have an interest in the STEAM programming. So if Sinclair has that, and I think your thought is along that way, but I would like for us to be intentional about starting to set up those meetings with Sinclair or whoever, because if they got that this summer, how nice would it be if we had as an after-school program for those students to continue that path this year, and then next year they're even further ahead. So, yeah, that was my thought as well.
Thank you.
I'm kind of like an arts guy, so the STEAM program is definitely attractive to me. My thoughts were expanding on it, so you beat me to it, sir, so I don't have too much to say, Madam President.
Okay. Did you have anything else, Ms. Freeman?
The students got a half credit. Was that the most they could get for the summer?
No, they could get far more than the half credit,
Okay.
depending on what they were taking, where they were deficient.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I see we did have a lot of high school students to
Yes.
make up deficient credits. So if we're tracking those students, the way we be intentional about our progress and the programs that we put is to track those students to see, okay, at the end of the year, they should be on track. So how many students did we go from being deficient to moving into the year being on track?
The best answer I can give you right now.
And I'm not
Oh,
asking
okay,
that
okay,
now.
gotcha,
I'm
okay.
saying, the intentionality of all of our programs that we implement is to know the impact it made
Yeah.
afterward. And you have the numbers.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of this as well, that we have 82 students earning all their deficient credits, and I think
Right.
that's really fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and I think, something to talk about that maybe we could come back here at some point is to talk about the different pathways and the seals that graduates could get to, earn different seals
Right.
for graduation. That might be another time where we come back and talk to the board
Right.
about those kind of things.
Yeah, because this definitely puts us ahead starting the year.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we want to do each and every time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? It was a great presentation. I especially like the videos.
Yes, thank
It's always good to see what our kids are doing. I think a picture's worth 1,000 words, and so I just want to say thank you.
Great, thank you.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
All right.
Good job.
Next item's up, treasurer's report. We don't have any board reports today, so I'm going to go right to the treasurer's report.
I only have one item this evening, 4A, approval for information, approval of the minutes for August the 4th and the August 18th meeting that was held last month.
Okay. superintendent's report.
I just have two really good things. They are donation checks that Ms. Sterner has received, so I'd like for you to hear what that is. Madison Park has received a check in the amount of $187.37 that reflects, well, actually it's commission for the Shutterfly Spring Pictures. Those funds will be used for student and staff incentives. And she also received donations from Friendship Village in the estimated amount of $500 in school supplies. She's asking for the board's approval, but tonight, again, this is just for information. She did actually go to Friendship Village to accept the donations, and I had heard about that, and they were very excited to have her there. So thank you, Ms. Sterner, for that.
That's awesome. Who exactly did you meet with over at Friendship Village, Ms. Sterner?
I don't know, I can't remember the name.
Okay.
The lady that, it was a part of their council.
Resident council?
On a monthly basis.
Yeah. Reason I asked Dr. Cosby
Yes.
is because I was wondering if we could get some sort of thank you over to that resident council, and, some sort of thank you letter on behalf of the district. Oh, did you send it? Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. The reason I say that is you sent it on behalf of Madison Park, correct?
Yes.
We want to send something on behalf of the Trotwood-Madison City School District, because here's the thing, you're part of the whole.
Right.
And when they support one building, it gives them the opportunity that it's not just, we don't work in silos. The board acknowledges it, the superintendent acknowledges it, and that we are very grateful for their support. So anytime that we have a specific donation, Dr. Cosby,
Yes.
I think it's great for the building, especially the building, because it benefits you. But please make sure that we as a board in the district send out a formal letterhead thanking
Thank you.
them.
Got it.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I agree. I think that that's very important. And it was Mrs. Battle from the
Oh, Marie.
Chamber, Marie
Okay,
Battle,
okay.
yes, who shared with me that Ms. Sterner was in the house
Okay.
and doing a great job. So, yeah, I'll be sure to get a thank you from the board and
Yeah.
from the district.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And if there ever is an opportunity, I don't know if it was a last minute, invite Ms. Sterner over, can you let the board know? Because it's community, and we want to make sure that we support our principal, our building, and also we are part of this community. I have a special relationship with Friendship Village as well, so that's why I asked specifically who. And I just think that the more community partnerships that we have, like Friendship Village, and they know that the highest level of leadership acknowledges that as well, it's going to be significant moving forward. Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Next up, we have discussion items. The swim programming is first.
Okay, and I do have that on your exec session that you can see. But I can tell you where we are with that. And we got this from Mr. Smith. Do you have it on yours?
I do not.
Under your executive tab.
Okay.
It should be under the executive tab.
Okay, I know I'm logged in.
Here, look. can
Yeah, I
show-
clicked
You see
swimming.
it?
This is all that comes up.
You see it?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'll just start going through it.
Yeah, I can just follow along. Is it in this packet? No?
Right there.
Can you see the line? I know. I can't. It's really hard. We need to do something about the blind.
Would you all like copies? I'd been asked to sort of
It's so light.
not have some,
No, it's not on there.
Yes, it's on here.
See, here's the item. Yeah, that's the item.
thank you.
I don't know. But you see, I have everything else loaded, but I don't have that.
Mr. Davis, do you have it attached to yours?
Because you should have content and whatever.
I don't have it. I know, I don't.
Okay.
Okay. But we're gonna make some copies.
Mhm. He's making the copies now. It's attached on mine.
She doesn't, she
Yeah.
doesn't.
And I am
For some
logged
reason,
in.
she doesn't have
I'm
it.
logged in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the trash partnerships, ma'am?
Do you have it, Ms.
There's an
Wong?
attached piece of
I,
trash.
I do not. Okay. I don't have any executive
Tabs.
tabs.
I don't know.
We gotta look and see why. Yeah, you don't have any tabs, is it a public tab?
She just told me I have none of those.
Okay.
And I am logged in.
Yes,
You don't have it either, correct?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Andrews, do you have it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We're waiting on some copies, but I can go in and start to walk you through it.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Smith is very on top of this, so he started actually in winter 2021. There was no lifeguard at our pool at that time, and then in January to March, he was able to hire a head lifeguard, and then 3 substitute lifeguards. So for the school year, what started in the fall was community swim was available to all of our community members from Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 7:45. Open swim for staff was from Monday to Thursday from 3:30 to 5:30. They did work with the counseling department and the high school principal and were able to get swim classes at the end of the school day, 6th and 7th periods. It did help with the lifeguard concern. In the winter, we've talked about this a little bit, they go on and have, you know, the competitions and things like that. So you will see the different types of invitationals. Actually, they held a Trotwood Invitational with over 30 teams participating in the winter. We hosted Wayne's, thank you. We hosted Wayne High School's Invitational, and you can see GWAC and some others.
You don't need one. Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa.
As we've stated before, we do have one of the best natatoriums in this region, and so we want to use it, as we talked about at our last meeting, but also we do provide these opportunities for other areas. In the spring, the community swim opened again in March, and then open swim for staff happened again as well. From March to May, 8 Trotwood students trained to become lifeguards. They all were offered the opportunity to take the lifeguard test, and it was paid for by the athletic department. 3 students took the test and passed. We had 2 male seniors and 1 female 10th grader. 60 students and community members signed up for free swim lessons, originally planned for 2022 summer, but the pool needed maintenance and painting, and so those had to be postponed. But it is something that are goals for our future. Effective August 31st, 22, no lifeguard was available. As you remember, our lifeguard is now moving on to college and higher ed. And Mr. Smith points out what we all know, that there is a nationally lifeguard shortage. No, it's hard to find them. And he's looked everywhere. He's been to the Wise, he's talked to many people, still trying to recruit. So the current pool goals and objectives are to train and recruit students at Trotwood to become lifeguards, research the possibility of creating a class to teach students how to become lifeguards and then get them certified. Current trained student lifeguard, we do have one who will be recommended to the board for hire for the winter sports season. She's a soccer player, and she did not want to give that up, but after soccer is over in the winter, she will become a lifeguard. We're going to continue open swim during the non-competitive season for staff and community members, and encourage growth of the swim program via active recruitment of swim class students. Hire or subcontract a person with water safety instructor certification to lead these swim classes. So those are some great goals. I think we are using the natatorium to the best of our ability right now. It's difficult to do any lessons or anything without a lifeguard, but we're on the look, still on the hunt for it.
I guess I'm a little confused if we're still opening it up for other schools to use, but we're saying we can't do, it can't be open for the community because we need pool maintenance. So do we know when we expect the maintenance to be done?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Mr. Howard, would you answer that question for me?
Okay, so with the pool, the maintenance is usually about on a 5-year schedule. The health department also will come out and inspect filtration systems, grills, the drains, the paint, and, anytime that they give us a feedback with regards to what needs to be updated, because they won't pass the pool. When I say pass, they won't let us open the pool unless we address those issues. The pool had not been painted in about 5 years, so at this point, this summer, it was painted, we updated the grates, changed some of the lines. So this summer specifically, that is when the maintenance, so it's on about a 5-year maintenance schedule, so, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So we just, did the maintenance on,
Just painted it, we just finished refilling it about a week ago.
so it's up and ready for use now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Spencer.
Mr. Chairman, the county just approved our pool reopening last week.
Our dilemma right now is no lifeguard, is that correct?
That is correct. I've been with a couple of life directors who are trying to, through most of those students, most of the lifeguards are students at Wright State Uni or St. Clair, so they only work 2 or 3 days a week for like a couple hours, and so none of them are looking for full-time.
But we have this opportunity to post on our Facebook page, lifeguards wanted. And we don't use the opportunity with MVCTC to, that's a partnership that's also available. So I think, and I know there is a shortage, I'm not disputing that. But I think if we truly partner with the universities, I think there's a lifeguard probably somewhere at UD or St. Clair that would want extra money, or I just think that.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be honest with you, I was at the Spring Grove Y today, and they just opened their pool back up. They don't have a lifeguard. And so it's really tough. And I get what you're saying, to have a dialogue with those university colleges.
And also MVCTC is a great resource. We're right next door, and I don't think we reach out enough to, and not specifically for that, but when we do have those things that we need, it's just a phone call to
So
say.
those 3 sub-lifeguards came from CTC. That we
Okay.
had, that moved on to seniors this past year, that moved on to higher ed. And so, and they also worked at the Flex down on the road. So, honestly, it's just really, really tough right now, but I'm doing what I can, and hopefully within, the next few weeks, I'll have a lifeguard secured.
What type of credentials does one need to be a lifeguard?
Not a swimming pool one, and then.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Okay.
So, there's a course that you have to take, and we really wanna hire someone, a lifeguard that, has a WSI that I put in there, water safety instructor, so they can teach our kids.
Okay,
how to swim.
so if they're water safety instructors,
Yes.
they are appropriate to be teachers and lifeguards
That is
in the
correct. And it's-
district?
That's part of the lifeguard class too. So you
Okay.
can just be a lifeguard, just take the regular lifeguard.
Yeah,
Or you can take the lifeguard class with the WSI.
so there's nothing hard other than that? I mean, there's not
You can
like,
swim and you can take the class.
well, that's what I'm saying. So there's no other credential?
No, no.
Okay. And with this community swim, we don't use lifeguards with the community swim?
Oh, yeah, we have.
Okay, so we're not doing community swims?
Not at the present time, because
Okay.
our lifeguard's last day was yesterday.
Okay. One thing I think I want to keep in mind, it is the citizens who built the schools. It is the citizens who paid along with the federal funding so that their kids could have use of the schools. I'm glad that we have this beautiful facility in this district, and that we host other schools, but our primary focus is our kids. We want to make sure that even during those winter months, if we have someone, that we allow community, staff, and students, and whomever to have access to that pool, because they're the ones who built it. And what you don't hear, that we hear, is those are our schools. That's what community says. Those are our schools, and they're absolutely right. They are their schools. So we want to not limit the accessibility for our students and our community. Their priority. Everybody else is secondary. Even though those, we have contracts, we can, make sure we get through those contracts, but we need to make sure that our people in this district, our citizens, our community, they are primary when it comes to that natatorium.
And I agree with you 100%, but what we really should have as our goal, and I know that that is Mr. Smith's goal, is that we have students that are on teams that are participating in those sports things, because that's how they get scholarships, that's how they get acknowledgement. So that would still be our students, and that's what we want. We
Yeah.
want to have our students swimming.
Yeah.
If we had our students swimming, we'd have our lifeguard
And we have our
situation.
community people in there, and that's what's important.
Ms. Moore, on our swim team, we average 46 kids up in the past 4 or 5 years. When I came in December of 20, we hadn't had a lifeguard for 9 months. We couldn't find one. And so, that's where it's at, but our kids do use the pool.
Okay.
And our community, if they do use the pool, I'm sure Ms. Bruno could attest to that. And she's seen community members there swimming in.
Do we keep a log of the community members who come to the pool?
No, and I'll be honest, it's probably about a dozen, it's the same dozen that come.
Oh, so it's about only 12. How do we, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Dr. Cosby, I'm gonna, since this
Yes.
is not an open meeting, okay? Dr. Cosby, how do we advertise for the pool?
I think
Open swims.
we've been having open
When we
swims
had
since
it.
that pool has been here, because when I was here, remember, I opened the high school, and we've had people coming to the pool. I think it's been known. Now, do we need to advertise
Absolutely.
it
If there's-
more? Of course
If
we
there's
do.
only 12,
Of course.
it's not known. We have 25,000 people here in Trotwood. And it's great that those 12 come, but we really have to be consistent with getting the word out, not just about swimming, but about everything that we do in the district.
Agreed.
Because people don't,
We're
they
working
don't
on it.
remember. I'm sorry, they don't.
Okay.
I didn't remember when the community swims were. Somebody asked me, and I was just like, did you check the website? Did you check this? So
Right.
whenever we are at that point, and I'll share this with you, we need to get the promote the
Mhm.
pool to citizens, because I'm gonna tell you, if we ever need citizen support financially,
Right.
we need to say, we open, you know you can swim anytime.
Right.
You know that we have this available to you. You know this is available. And then they want to support us because we're supporting them.
Right.
So that's ultimately where we want to get.
You know, the other thing we've not done is look at our cost to lease out our buildings. So can we get the cost of what we've taken in from leasing it out and look at
Yes.
those rates to see if we need to change those? Because I know it has been a long time since we did that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when we do get the pool up and going, I would like to see a sign-in sheet. I think we need documentation who's coming in and out of the pool if we could.
Just when you say the 12, there is a sign-in, it's not like that, but
Oh.
it's the same 12 that come on Thursday, but she does have a sign sheet.
So there is, okay, there's a sign-in sheet, okay. I just think that's so important to know who's in our building. So we'll just have to get a plan of action to find some lifeguards. And I think, Mr. Smith, you said you're gonna, Ms. Freeman mentioned the opportunity at other community partnerships, or, I don't know, and there is a shortage, but there are folks out there. We just have to really continue to be diligent to look for them. because if we don't find them, that means we don't use the pool at all.
And we don't want to take that one off of follow-up items.
So we'll follow up on that one next month at a regular meeting. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that fine? Okay. Thank you.
The next subject is the Five Rivers Health Center, and we do have a meeting scheduled.
Okay. Is there an attachment for that one too? Okay.
No,
Okay.
I don't think there's an attachment, because we're going to have the meeting with Ms. McFarland, and I'm sure she'll be bringing someone with her, and I know, Ms. Moore, you are planning to attend. I will be attending. Ms. Mallory will also be attending. And so we're going to work on how can we increase engagement with Five Rivers. That's the purpose of that meeting. We've talked about some ideas. I'm pretty excited about it, and so we'll be able to report back on that one.
That meeting is here in the building,
Yes.
and I will probably attend.
Okay.
What day is that?
I had to go to my calendar.
I have my phone. I had all the dates in it. I just don't have my
Yeah.
phones with me, so.
I'll look that up for you. Can I send that to you so I don't have to close this out?
You
Okay.
can. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Trade partnerships.
Okay, I do have something on your computer with the trade partnerships.
Is that an executive tab?
Yes.
Okay, I don't
It
have
is,
it. Do you have an executive?
CT Pathways handout. I'll get Luke to make some copies for you. All right, so this is what was sent to parents, for those of you who can see it on your computers. It was career pathways. We have it. Trotwood-Madison has some things going on that I wanted to share with you. So agriculture, as you know, we're offering the agribusiness and production systems pathway for our students. They complete courses in food science and animal and plant biotechnology, along with some other things. These students are the ones that you know participate in the Future Farmers of America, and they have the opportunity to earn a full scholarship to study agriculture at Central State University. That program is really going well. We then also have a business program. We offer courses in the business administration pathway. Right now, our students are taking courses in entrepreneurship, HR management, and operations, and management, among other classes. We have a new business teacher this year. As you'll remember, last year we struggled because we did not have one, but we do have it now. We have an education pathway. We have students who will complete courses in education principles and child and adolescent development. The students in the education pathway participate in the group Educators Rising. The courses in the pathway can be taken for CCP, College Credit Plus credit, and it allows students to participate in apprenticeship programs. That we currently have, I think, is 46 students enrolled in that, and it's going to end up being a 2-year pathway, but it's just starting this year, and already there is a lot of excitement for the students. We have some who are in it but don't know if they want to be teachers, but we're excited that maybe by being involved, getting to go down to the other grades and work with students, that they may in fact decide to become teachers. And so not only does it help with the fact that that we are losing teachers, but also in general, but also, as you know, we're trying to increase the number of minority teachers as well. I'll just pass this out real quick. So I've gotten you sort of through that first page. Thank you. You're welcome. And if you'll go to the second page, it sort of talks about the things that are offered. The pre-apprenticeship program takes basic technical and job readiness skills for a designated apprentice occupation or sector. Currently, We offer it an education pathway and a manufacturing course. That course is the course that we have with Mr. Kennebrew, and so that manufacturing piece is getting started. Students in that course will have the opportunity to earn their certified production technician license. That license makes their students employable in the manufacturing career field as soon as they graduate. Then CTSOs, those are Career Tech Student Organizations, and this allows them to compete in local, state, and national competitions such as Future Farmers of America, and you know we've competed in one already. We are looking ahead to do some more things, and we've sort of talked about some things today that we can add to this list, such as our drone program. But we're excited already. We're going to pilot an EMT program in partnership with Sinclair in the 23-24 school year. Students who participate in that pilot will have the opportunity to earn EMT certification and to earn CCP credits. Students in the EMT pathway serve in a pre-apprenticeship with the Trotwood Fire Department. And some of you may remember last year when the fire department and EMT for the city were doing their strategic plan, we went over and participated and took 2 students who were just super excited about becoming EMTs. And so that's sort of where that conversation started, and it actually has turned into this, so that's pretty exciting. If you'll remember, finally, I have on here Chad Downing. You know, he's come and talked to us a couple of times, and I know you all remember that Ms. Jeter Freeman always asked him, what are you going to offer us? And so we're still in communication with him as far as getting some apprenticeships and things for our students as well. So we got some really good things going on in regards to career tech pathways. Okay, the next thing on our discussion list is district attendance, statistics for staff and students. So, attendance, as you can imagine, at this point, we don't have much for this year. We have, our attendance rate right now for our students is 89.1%, and we currently have 32 kids who are no-shows. Our total enrollment, which is the next question, enrollment is 2,665 students. Last year, and this is overall for the year, our attendance was 89.44% for our, that's actually our staff attendance. We don't have it, I didn't have it for last year. I do have the number of students, like I said, is 2,665. Our numbers will be a lot more firm after Labor Day. There are some parents, some of these no-shows will potentially show up because parents, you know, go on vacations and things. So I think I'll have a much better handle on this as we move forward in the year.
So the
Okay.
staff was 89.44 last year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that was classified, certified was 92.15.
92.15, and
Yeah.
that was classified, did you say, or certified?
92.15 for certified, classified was 89.44.
And student enrollment now is 2665?
2665
Okay.
with 32 no-shows.
Okay, and currently it's 89.1 last year, right? Is that
Yes.
where that number came from? How many staff people do we have?
Do you know how many, I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask
That's
my
okay.
HR director if we know how many staff members. Total district is 456. 277 certified staff. The classified. Thank you. Okay. All right. I think that does cover our discussion topics.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
That's all right.
We're sorry. I was calling Vanessa
Oh.
from my house.
Oh.
Okay, interesting, right? All right, thank you
Uh-huh.
for those numbers. Treasurer's comments.
Yes, I had a couple this evening. The first, I wanted to read a email that I received from Catherine Brockman. She says, "Good morning, Janice. Thank you for the absolutely beautiful flower arrangement I received yesterday from your district. I was very touched to know that you were thinking of me and my family. This is an unimaginable event for our family, and we don't understand the why, but I know we can trust God in this. Jesus is our only hope. Please pass along my thanks." And her name is Catherine Brockman. She's administrative assistant /EMIS for Northmont City Schools, and this was the woman that lost both her daughter and her granddaughter in the killings in Huber Heights. So as a district, we sent those flowers to her. The other thing is, I put under your executive tab, and it's in front of you, a hard copy of my treasurer's update for September 1st. So, just on some staffing, updates, I will be doing a presentation for OASBO on the 12th. There was an update on our 21st Century Grant for FY '23, that we did not receive the grant. I just wanted to update you on that. And then we were doing an inventory conversion that we're still working through right now. So those are just some updates from the treasurer's office that I wanted to share with the board. And that was all that I had this evening.
Thank you.
Question? Ms. Allen, on the 21st Century Grant, does that agency provide like any feedback on what was lacking or deficient or what we can do better?
Well, what we found is that this year, OD, the Ohio Department of Education, decided that those grants were gonna go to rural districts. And so because we weren't a rural district, we didn't get those extra points. And so because we didn't get the extra points, then we were not in the top 52.
What constitutes
And so-
a rural district? Because we're 2/3 rural here in Trotwood. I mean, we are. I'm saying that because Trotwood is 2/3 rural.
Yeah, I don't think we're designated as a rural district, but that's a great
I mean,
question. but you know.
that's a good follow-up
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
because we're in 100%,
Yeah.
but 2/3 is quite a bit. I don't know if they have us classified as an urban suburban district,
Yeah,
but
I
even so.
I think they do have us as an urban suburban, and I think
Yes.
it's more about the kids, who attends our school versus, like you said, what our community is actually made up of. But that it is something that we've talked about before, yeah.
Thank you.
Ms. Allen, we will need to look at that impact.
Because we've
Well,
gotten it before.
For all of us.
Yeah,
need
we're
to-
already working to mitigate that, and we're looking to get some after-school programming in place.
Yeah. because-
Actually, we're really pretty excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, I did see quite a few other grants that are out there, so I hope we're not missing any of those.
Okay. Gotta have your phones,
that
they're so
was good.
connected to everybody, right? Can't leave home without them and survive.
I was gonna say, is that your daughter?
That's my daughter. Hey, Nastasia? Okay.
I've seen pictures, but I
Have you?
haven't seen
Okay.
her.
I left my phones at home, and I was glad I left my phones at home, okay? But this is my daughter, Nastasia. She's visiting from Miami, and so, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
She's a beauty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, next up, Dr. Cosby, okay?
There is one thing that I would like to share with you all. It's a little unconventional, but I think it's important and will help the community. As you know, I'm the vice president of the Trotwood Chamber, and we're about to hold our golf outing, and, so, I mean, I am trying to learn how to golf, but I'm really not that good yet, so I'm gonna be signing in people at the beginning, and then I'll come back over here to do, my work. But I did receive a couple of messages, from Ms. Battle, and she really wanted to know if there was any way we could get together a team, and, you know, it's a little costly, and people would be, you know, paying for this on their own. But I did have a staff member who volunteered and was able to find 3 partners to participate. And so Ms. Sterner and group will be golfing in the tournament. And I got the nicest note from Ms. Battle, because I think they only had 20 golfers. And as you know, that's how they make their money, and you know, they pay a fee to participate. So I just wanted to thank her, since she's here tonight, for stepping up and bringing along her friends to do that. And they're all Trotwood graduates, so it's
Oh,
a
wow.
true Trotwood team.
Now, we're supporting that, right? Is
Yeah.
that the district is funding the team? That one?
No, she's planning
That is not a proper.
to do that herself. This is why I'm thanking her.
Yeah, the district would not.
I was just
Right.
curious. I didn't know how that worked, because
No.
it just sounds like such a great community partnership. These are our graduates, and we have
Yeah.
a teacher. Yes, sir. Mister?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
We do sponsor a whole.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah, we
The
do
district sponsors a whole.
Yeah, and we take water as well.
And
We
provide-
bring
we
water.
provide over 100 bottles of
Oh, okay.
water.
It just sounds like appropriate for us to be doing something.
Yes,
So
we
I'm
do
glad, because I was,
Yeah.
So
concerned about
last year,
that.
I think we were 909, I don't know
Yes.
where we are this year,
okay,
but we sponsor a whole for.
okay.
Yeah, and I also do athletic basket, Mr. Smith, an athletic basket, and then I do a personal basket as
Okay.
well.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because, you know, we talk about community partnerships all
Right.
the time, and that's so worthwhile. All right, any other comments, Dr. Wright?
No, I think that's, I will bring you up to speed. I shared with you yesterday that I did go to the meeting in Columbus, the Mid-Size Urban Collaborative, and we talked a lot about the new report card, what it's gonna look like, and how we are going to, you know, make some improvements and changes in what we do here. And one of the things that we have as something that they've used prior to COVID was what we call instructional rounds, where you take teams from different schools, and they go into a school district, and they go into the classrooms, and they do like that critical, you know, friendly advice about what you can do better and that type of thing. So we'll be participating in instructional rounds, one in the fall and one in the spring. And it was a very good meeting. I learned a lot about some things that we can do as we move forward with the report card. You know, they're having stars, but stars is still, I think it's 4, 3, 2, 1 or something of that nature. We mentioned that. So it's very important that we really continue the work that we're doing. We're doing a good job. We just have to make it show. So I just wanted to let you know.
How did they decide which schools? I remember when they were talking about, when they first formed that group and talking about going to the different schools to do that. I didn't know
Oh,
how-
the schools volunteer.
Okay.
So I know already Alliance Schools, that'll be the one that will get the visits in the fall. And then there will be a school that will need to volunteer in the spring. Because, you know, in some ways, you know, people feel like, well, it's disruptive because, you know, people come in and all, but it's been very productive. And they have, and I can bring the data that shows that it's been worthwhile in a couple of the districts, so.
About how many people are coming?
Oh, so let's say we, usually what they've done, when I went twice, was in Mount Healthy, and I would say 8 schools would come and take about 5 people per school, so about 40, but they would be in all the buildings, so.
Oh, okay.
So like we have 5 buildings, we would have maybe 8 people in a building going classroom to classroom, and each group would have a different thing that they were looking
Focusing.
for. Focused on, yes. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Board comments, Mr. Davis?
I was just kind of noticing at the beginning of the year so far that our Madam Superintendent has been doing a lot behind the scenes to help some of our students out in reference to fees and financial situations, and she's not sharing that with our board tonight. But to expand on why I'm bringing this
Thank
up is because I would like to support her, but I'm only one person, so I would like you guys' efforts to look into this a little more to see how many of these students that might have fees from K through 12. I don't expect us to do anything overnight about something like that, but get a number of kids that may be somewhat behind. And I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not saying it's their parents' fault. I'm not saying how these things come up where they get these fees, but I'm wondering, can we, and Assistant Superintendent might be more knowledgeable about this, but I was wondering if there a way we could figure out exactly how many of these students have these fees and what could we do to make sure they get technology home, because I'm not quite sure that some of these families or all of these situations, they have technology in the home.
Right.
I'm assuming they do in this day and age, but I'm not quite sure. And then not just outside of that, but just expand on it, try to figure out some numbers, and then revisit this situation this month sometime, if we can. If not, I'm sure you seem like you're dealing with it without us, but I think we should be supportive of you on it.
Well, I
And-
appreciate that, and I understand that I have your support. I know you want, technology in our students' hands and going home. So I did give a directive that we would, keep track of the fees that are owed, and we will work on developing plans and all that.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
regardless, we would make sure our students did get their computers. So that did happen in all 5 buildings. So all the students should have their computers and should be able to take them home, if taking them home is what that,
needed,
grade level and building
required.
does.
I just wanted the board members to know you were doing stuff like
Well,
that.
thank you very much.
know.
I appreciate that.
And in a world where we can probably be anything in America, from the President of the United States to a great golfer and a tournament coming up soon, we can be kind if we can't do nothing else. It doesn't cost nothing. It don't cost to show love. And just anybody who's watching, any staff, district-wide, whatever, I just want us to know that I care about that, our board cares about that, even Honorable Cherry who's absent, and that's it. And thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Andrews, do you have any comments?
Yes. First of all, I want to.
Can you speak into the mic because they have to capture it on the YouTube?
First of all, I want to say thank you, and I was very pleased when, I don't do the social media thing, but someone sent me a picture of the advertisement and promotion for the clinic, and I thought that was really kind of dynamic and exciting, and hopefully it reaches a large number of people in the community, and they'll start asking for and promoting it so that we can utilize it a lot better. Also, it's encouraging to hear about the swimming, and I have a couple ideas I'd like to pass on, and not now, but try to help assist with that going on and moving forward. The pathways sounds really exciting. And hopefully, we might be able to find a way to utilize that gentleman whose information I had given you that works with the skilled trades as well.
I did
And,
contact him.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully, that'll work out for us. And also, I know there's been a couple times where we have, Mr. Warner's talked about the letters program, and I'd like to hear some update on that at some point, just see how it's going, because I know the more I read about it, the more I'm learning about it, and I'd like to see how it's going in terms of trying to implement that in the district. That's it. Oh, no, one more thing. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. It's at the bottom of my page. I had mentioned last week, and I would like to see something done, or at least considered some recognition for his service and dedication, and I'm speaking of Coach Rocco. He was here for quite a little while, and we've had a long tradition of success in basketball here in Trotwood, but he kind of elevated us even further than we had been. So I'd like to see some recognition for his.
Okay, we'll take care of that.
Okay.
And I have actually a meeting with Dwayne Johnson. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
name you gave me for September 13th.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Ms. Jeter Freeman.
I don't have much on the career pathways. For the one for business, I would still like for us to reach out to Stratacash.
Okay.
I would like for them to be one of our featured business partners. And we won't know what that looks like until we set up a meeting with them to say, hey, what kind of skills do you have? Is there an opportunity here that we can partner? And if it's not getting our students, maybe it's them providing us, maybe there are tutors there, maybe, in talking to their director, they can, because businesses do that. They will provide their employees for a day to do sponsorship. So if you look at a lot of the schools that are really moving out, they have those true partnerships that, school calls and they're there. I got this class and each class is assigned to a church or a business, and when that class goes on a trip, a phone call is made and they're taken care of. So I would like for us to truly enrich our partnerships, that we become friends, that we can reach out and,
Yeah.
and we can share. So if we would put on the follow-up list to set up that meeting with
Gotcha.
Stratacash.
And I did attach to our things, some other partnership things that I'm working on right now. So it's in your,
Right.
yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
one, Stratacash, I did not check
Yeah,
it yet, so I wrote it
Stratacash is a
down.
big company, and
Yeah.
that's a huge win.
I have
for
seen
us.
them,
Yes.
their name and all through the chamber.
Right. I think it's important, like for our business class, for them to know, well, what kind of businesses do we have in Trotwood? What kind of skills are required for the businesses that are in Trotwood? And are we gearing our student up for those kind of skills? The ones that are, at the forefront, so. And that's all I have today.
Thank you. Okay, and I'm gonna just kind of piggyback on that. I know Dr. Cosby sent me an email, of a gentleman that I passed along for Allied, right?
Mhm.
And you said you were already initiating that
Yes.
partnership. That's
Person.
awesome.
Fred Lamcom, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, they came to our, Trades Day, job fair, and lo and behold, it was an alumni, and, I mean, just, everybody was, it was just an amazing event, by the way. But the fact that you reached out pretty quickly, they are all on board, and I appreciate you making that connection
problem.
there, okay? My comments are, first of all, you mentioned a community newsletter. When is that gonna go out?
It is, well, we were gonna send it out like right before school started, so we're changing a couple of the articles.
Yeah.
So it should go out soon. I mean,
Okay.
it's ready in a couple of, I mean, it's really ready, it's just like a couple of things that change out. And we're waiting to get the digital photos, to be honest with you. We
What
called for
digital
them.
photos? Ours?
Yeah, you guys,
Okay,
yeah.
we can take care of that, okay?
Okay.
I can take care of that with, Rachel from,
Okay. I think we contacted Rachel.
yeah,
I think we've contacted her, so it should be happening.
okay.
But if not, I'll let you know.
Yeah, because I know we wanted to, as a board, we want to say something as well, just one or two lines, so it
Okay.
shouldn't take up a lot of space, but as,
That'll be
the
fine.
leaders of the district,
Mhm.
It's representatives of the community. We'll get something together, I'll send it over to you.
Okay.
Also, I want everybody to look at their calendars for a retreat date. We're doing our state of the district, September 12th, right,
Yes.
Dr. Cosby?
Yes.
Okay, and I'd like us, the board, and yourself, treasurer, to get together for, it doesn't have to be a very long time, but I want to go over what that looks like before we present. And the board will have an introduction piece, and then, of course, you will talk about, the ESSER funding and whatever else you want to talk about, okay? And then, Ms. Allen, you'll talk a little bit about finance, okay? So what are your dates? If you guys look at your calendar, I mean, it's approaching pretty quickly. Today is September 1st. Next, it would have to be sometime next week because September 12th is on a Monday. And I want to check availability. I'm not available on Thursday, the 8th, but what do you guys have available, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 9th?
Oh, it is. President Moore, the 5th is a holiday.
I'm sorry.
The 5th is the holiday, September 5th.
You know we work on the holidays. No, I'm just joking. I'm sorry. In healthcare, we don't close. We work
Oh,
Christmas, we
okay.
work
We
all
are
holidays. I'm
closed. The
sorry. I
district is
forgot
closed.
where I was, okay? So the 5th is Labor Day, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, how about that Tuesday, the 6th? And I'm thinking like 5:30 to 6:30.
The 6th is good for me.
You're good? What about you, Mr. Davis? You're good?
Sure.
Okay.
I think the 7th is.
It's not.
Mr. Andrews?
5:30, 6:30 on Tuesday.
Okay, you can do it too. I'll run it past Ms. Cherry, but what do you guys look like on the 6th? We're good.
I had a meeting scheduled at 6 o'clock on the 6th, but.
Well, you know what, I'll tell you what, Ms. Allen, if you wanna do, I mean, like, if you can start at 5:30, we don't have to go in any particular order.
Possibly, could we do it at
Where's your meeting?
5 to 6? Could we do 5 to 6?
I can
Oh,
you?
are you talking about a retreat? I'm sorry.
It's just a quick retreat. What we're
She said
doing is
just-
we're running over the state of the district.
Oh.
Can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
How about
Maybe
we-
at 5?
5.
Yeah,
do it
I
5
can
o'clock?
if the rest of the
Oh,
board
yeah.
is,
5 to 6.
Oh, you said the
works.
6th.
5 to 6, that works.
Is that good
that's,
for you?
it'll work. I'll just, reach out to Ms. Cherry, but I'm good too.
Okay.
All right? And that's on the 6th. And not on Labor Day, Ms. Allen. Okay. Board retreat. So, if we could, get the notice out, probably need to get the notice out by Friday
It's all,
for
That we're
that
gonna do
retreat.
it?
Yeah, that
Oh,
we're
for the
gonna do it, 'cause
retreat. Yes, I'm good to
anytime
do
we
that.
all meet like this, as a group, we have to get a public notice out.
So we're having a, okay, I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
a clarification. We're having a board meeting to
No.
discuss the state of the.
We're having a board retreat because we're presenting to the city on the 12th. And we want to make sure that we're all aligned, we're all on the same page, we all understand what information we're going to be giving to citizens and our community partners. So it's a retreat. Shouldn't be a long retreat, but it's
okay. And we need to have that notification out.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what time did we decide on?
5, you said 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. To discuss.
State of the district. Presentation.
Okay. Additionally, let's see, 9, 6, at 5, okay? I'd like to, and I know we did this on opening day, and we didn't do it, the Trotwood Educational Foundation recognized the Teacher of the Year and the Employee of the Year. But I know we've mentioned or talked about bringing those two individuals to the board and recognizing them from central office as the superintendent, treasurer, and our team. Okay. And so what we would do is get them a plaque from the district and maybe some flowers or something. This is all on tape. But anyway, now they're gonna know, but that's okay. But I would really like to do something special for them. Okay. Thank you. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else, so, oh, my computer went dead. Let's see. Given that, I want to move into executive session, and I need a motion to prepare for conduct or review negotiations or bargaining sessions with the public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment per ORC 121.22, and to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges, complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual per BOE policy 0166 and ORC 121.22 G1, and C is to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, the sale of property at competitive bidding, or the sale or other disposition of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in accordance with section 505.10 of the revised code per ORC 121.22 G2.
A second.
It's been properly motioned, Mr. Davis,
Thank you.
and a second, Vice President Jeter Freeman.
Thank you.
Will you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Jeter Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes?
And Ms. Moore?
Yes, motion passes. We are now going to move into executive session at 6:50 PM. We are now out of executive session. It is 8:04 PM. Next item up is item 11, approval for the personnel agenda. I need a motion.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Been properly moved in second. Any questions? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
And Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. The personnel agenda has been approved. I now need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Been properly moved in second. Ms. Allen, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Jeter Freeman.
Yes.
And Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Meeting adjourned.